Susio Talk. Whoa! Susio Talk, hanging out with Chef Manish Tyagi. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, amazing. So, Chef Manish, how you doing, man?
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the trip,
No, it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
It's been long due.
For sure. I've been in Palm Springs.
I thought you forgot me.
No, definitely not. No. I think I lost myself a little bit in Palm Springs. I went down there and something that I've realized about myself is if I have too many luxuries, then it makes me like more of a lazy person, you know? So it's like you're living in this house, you're a personal chef. Obviously you're there to work, but like there's a pool, there's a hot tub, you know, there's
It means you get carried away.
yeah, it's just tons of excuses to just like not
to
be doing the work on this, or like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, what am I going to do? So, but it was a good time to not do much, you know? I was like, okay, you need to figure this shit out, because I had this issue where it was like, if you don't have a kitchen, if you're not a chef, you're nothing. You know, I thought that of myself, right? And
no,
then,
I think it's a little different actually.
Right.
We chefs are, a totally different breed, I would
Yeah.
say, We are creative peoples. And creative peoples having a switch on and switch off kind of a thing.
oh, you're
It's
right.
it's not like, you can be in the same intensity all the time.
Right.
It's like, some sort of a light comes and you kind of, doing things which you never imagine
Mm-hmm.
and doing in such a pace that, like you do not even realizing, your potential, and you able to do it, in a flare.
Mm-hmm.
Another time you try to imitate same thing, you not even go close to that, even half of it. So that's how our profession is actually.
Right.
So sometimes you are at the peak of your performance and sometimes you're not.
Right.
So you have to let it go. You have to ease it out. You have to give yourself that time to recollect and to wait for that light again.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes actually, if you keep thinking, keep motivating yourself and pushing the boundaries, That's why, when you're working in a commercial kitchen, day and night, again and again, you burnt out.
Yeah, you do.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no creative aspect. There is customer aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at the numbers. You're looking at the, revenue. So you become a merchant over there. You no longer kind of, left a chef.
Mm.
A chef is when, you're thinking, okay, today my peers are coming. I'm going to make a
Really good meal.
really fucking awesome meal for them. The cooking you're doing that time, you having no, mindset for, okay, I'm going to make $1,000 of it, or I'm going to make $10,000 of it. No. I have to listen that wow from my friends. That's what,
Yeah.
passion is. That's where, your creativity goes to a totally different level.
Yeah. Willing to risk it all just for the art of the
Yeah.
plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen the worst sides of it and the best sides of it in our industry.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
I really
Because
do.
you have to keep up the challenge,
Yeah.
to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't take those necessary risks, which you should take, because you're always having a fear of falling down.
Yeah. How do you get rid of that fear?
It's a practice. It's a practice, and that fear never goes. If I'm saying that, I'm fooling myself.
Mm-hmm.
That is always, back of your mind, and it should be there. It should be there, I would say, because that keep you in a hunt.
Right.
It keep you motivated,
Mhm.
because it's kind of that spark you need
Right.
to hang around, to, dig in new things, look for new options, new plating, new, presentations. So that keep you in hunt.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that the chase keeps us alive as human
Yes.
beings?
Oh, yes.
Right. So when you stop, you're done. That's when
You're done. Because human is a very, I would say, unpredictable animal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there is no restrictions, if there is no foundation, we are close to that purge situation.
Mm-hmm.
We turn things ugly.
Right.
Yeah. So if we have to be productive, we have to be kind of uh, you know how to put that word, kind of things in a good perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And there should be some sort of fundamental. There should be some sort of boundaries, which you like it or not, you should follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, certain times you have to think out of the box. You have to cross those boundaries, but in positive way, not in negative way. Boundaries are made that you don't do that ugly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're having a chance to make it even better,
Right.
I would say you should push yourself every time. That's what I do. That's
Mhm.
what I try to do, actually.
Right. And so, how long have you been a chef?
uh Half of my life now.
Half
More
of
than
your-
half of my life, actually.
Okay.
So I'm 44. I'm in this business from last 23 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, more than a half
Did
of my
you fall into it, or was this always I'm
fall
gonna be
into
a
it.
chef?
Fall
Fall
into
into
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was not like today's kids know what they want to do in their life. I was kind of pretty lost.
Yeah.
But cooking
Most of
was
us are.
always spontaneous to me.
Yeah.
So, thought, okay, let's try it out.
It's the only thing that can. Well, you say we're high, low, and that's the way the line is.
Mhm.
If you have no orders, you're cleaning, chopping. Now there's 3 tables. Now you're, oh my God, and you'd be a liar if you said as a chef, I do not like that.
No.
That rush of the guest is here and the soup is not quite right yet. I have to season it, and I think it's because it's like little wins in your heart. And
It's for me, it's like, when you go for a workout,
Mhm.
you do the warm up.
Mm.
So the warm up is like, you're getting ready for that, busy time.
Yeah.
And when you hitting that, mark where your body is warm up nicely, and rolling your arms and, your legs in a full motion,
Mhm.
that's where, you're having 5 tables, 6 tables, 7 tables. Let them in, let the printer chirp,
Mhm.
as quick as possible, non-stop. And you barking the orders, and that fun is totally different. You have to get used to of that.
Mhm.
So if things are under control, you enjoy it.
Right.
When things get messy, you lacking behind in some orders, then you start feeling it like a pain.
Mhm.
You're feeling it like, what the hell is going on? When it's gonna stop? Let this day get over.
Right.
So different feelings, different days, highs and lows, but
Yeah.
like that's the part of the game.
Mhm. It's a hard business because you have to have a little bit of emotion. I mean, to know that on a cold day you're going to make some soup, and on a hot day you're going to make something more refreshing, which is much more different than numbers, where it's the same every time. And so we're going to take it all the way back because we're here at Susio Talk Chef. Where were we born?
I born in India, in
Mhm.
the foothills of Himalayas,
Okay.
beautiful place. Most of my early days I spent over there. Only got out from that place to do my catering college,
Okay.
which was more towards close to Delhi, I would say, New Delhi, the
Mhm.
capital of India.
Right.
So there is a place in, like, there are different states. I born in Uttarakhand, which used to be a part of another state called Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
Since 2000, it turned into a small state, a hill state. So during that time, there was a lot of reforms were going, for education and all. Privatization was on its peak. So, there was some catering college open up. So people like me, who were not too great in studies, too bright,
Right.
I would say. You got a chance to do something different. Go for a professional knowledge. Kind of easy for you to avail. Otherwise it was kind of difficult. You had limited options,
Yeah.
and it was kind of hardly too many options for average student. Otherwise you have to opt for some other stuff. Like non-productive, I would say. So yeah, so did my high school from the same place, so Uttarakhand, and then I was doing my BSc in math, science, and statistics. So but I was aware of it's not gonna take me anywhere.
Right.
I'm just gonna be a plain graduate, and then I have to look for some shitty jobs. So
Were your parents pushing you to be a better student?
no, not really. Every parents wants their kids to be do good in their academics, so
Right.
that give them advantage in their career.
Yeah.
But like my dad left me, you choose, son. It's your life. You if you want any help from me, which I can do, I will definitely do. So I grew up in a very low middle class family, so we didn't had that much of funds that my dad can opt for. Like here, oh, you can go to Stanford. No, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to go to Stanford, you have to earn the scholarship.
Right.
Or if you can get loan, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can afford it. I can't afford it.
Right.
So that was the situation. So yeah. So this catering college was also not kind of a cheap, but my dad kind of did all sort of sacrifices he could, and he put me in that. So I did 3 years of that catering college, and there I get serious about my career and what I have to do in life.
Mhm.
Though I didn't figure out whether I have to be a chef or I have to go in a management side.
Okay.
So
was it
I
very
was-
black and white like that in the school?
Yeah, because they teach you everything
Mm-hmm.
related to hotel like hotel business. They teach
Right.
you everything. Front of the house.
Right. Front
like
desk.
front desk,
Yeah. It's a whole culture.
housekeeping. Yeah, whole culture.
Right.
And then you have to choose in the final year.
Mhm.
What kind of a career you want to choose.
Right.
When all these different companies come for the campus to pick the new students, like new employees. So they take your you have to give your bio, you have to give group discussion, a part of group discussion and all, and then they offer you a job. Depends if you want to go in F&B services, front desk, housekeeping, or a chef.
Okay.
So that time kind of I choose, okay, let's try, because English was not that great that time. English was a big headache for me during that time.
Mhm.
So in like front of the house staff, you need to be kind of pretty much well spoken and kind of communicate
Right.
easy.
That's a good point that you're making, because most of us go to the back to not be heard. Because I can't talk, because I'm afraid of the way I talk or whatever it is. And that's why when I originally started the podcast, I just couldn't do video, because I thought to myself, like, the chefs are going to be like, well, what do I do with my hands? What does my face look like? You know what I'm saying? It still happens. People will say, hey, can you, I'm saying, like, everybody's really self-conscious. But I think that we can all bask in that fact, that everybody is always currently thinking, what does everybody else think about me right now?
Right.
Whether it's you go in the supermarket and you like drop something, what do you do? First thing, you look around.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And it's like, why are we so embarrassed? But also, why would a person make that a big deal? To make that person feel bad for dropping something. And I think you're right. Human nature is truly, more so evil than good.
It
when
is.
it comes down to it, it's like
Exactly.
you're fighting the demons all the time. Because like you're gonna choose to do the easiest thing, and that's the most thing I see about the chefs is so passionate. Like, okay, you have a family, you run a restaurant, you're a chef and you do all of these things in one day, and no one really stops to think about those people, you know?
Not
And-
really.
And this is why we have this show, to do that.
Yeah, it's a very thankless profession, I would
Yeah.
say. Don't know about other professions. I guess they also encounter the same kind
for
of
sure. Yeah,
issues.
the blue collar man, for sure.
Yeah. But like at the moment, this technology, given kind of every person is kind of a food critic,
Hmm.
whether he know about the food
Yeah.
or he don't know about the food.
You're right.
Like he feels that what he likes about the food is the only way of doing it.
Right.
There is no other way. So yeah, it is a thankless kind of a profession.
Mhm.
People judge you, whether you're doing 200%, 300%, or 1,000%,
Mhm.
of your effort. Doesn't matter for them, But there are other peoples also who keep you alive, who keep you kind of motivated,
Mhm.
give you that perspective that you should not look at the darker side,
Right.
You only focus on that positive side
the
of
light side.
Yeah.
100. As you know, things almost go wrong on a daily basis at restaurants. It's like
Definitely,
a phenomena
yeah.
that's like, I don't understand this, you know?
Because our business is manhandled, right?
Mhm.
So when you're doing something where everything is done by hands, it's not machines.
Mhm.
You can train, you can program a machine. It's going to have the same result every time. But when it is human, you have to deal with so many things, right? The guy is in a good mood, you're going to be damn quick. He's in a bad mood, you're going to screw things.
Mhm.
So if you're having, let's say, a team of 7 or 8 peoples, so you can see that one day this guy is doing a mistake, one day that guy is doing a mistake, other day someone else doing a mistake, and you yourself going to do a mistake. That's why we are human, right?
Mhm.
We're not God or we're not a machine. So it's a part of a game, I would say. The mistake should be kind of intelligent. It should
Mhm.
not be kind of a foolish mistake,
Careless.
careless
Yeah,
mistake.
that's
Yeah.
the-
That give you some sort of idea that we have to improve this
Mhm.
so that we don't do this mistake again,
Mhm.
and there should not be a repetition in that. So yeah, and that's where you get that personalized touch as well.
Mhm.
Machines don't give you that.
No, not at all. And that's why, nowadays everybody's like, "Oh, AI is going to take over." I really, come on.
Yeah, robots
I
gonna
don't
cook the
think
food.
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome.
In some
Do it.
places, I feel like we'll always have a job. They didn't lie when they said that. Now what that job is and what place that is, that's up to, but it's pretty cool that we have the restaurants that we do have, and that culinary exists as a thing, as like an interest and a career. Um, so let's get back to the to India, or the cooking college. Do you have any mentors there that
Oh
you
yes.
still?
Oh yes. So you have to look forward to the people who have done kind of that thing which you want to pursue, and idealize them in some sort of a way,
Mhm.
or I would say bookish knowledge is one thing which kind of always helpful, but when you're getting it through a person, live experience,
Mhm.
that is something which is very essential. So I had these two teachers in early my college days, who influenced me a lot. I had this F&B teacher, Mr. Gupta. He always used to tell me one thing,
Mhm.
because I was very shy in speaking English. I myself never liked my English, so I used to think what people gonna talk about me,
Mhm.
how this guy talks and all. So he always used to say, "Hey, it's just a communication. You have to communicate what you want to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So you really don't have to worry about how you're communicating, what you're talking about. If he understands that, you've done your job.
Mm-hmm.
So keep hitting, in English, keep talking. You're going to learn so much. When you're going to listen to yourself, you're going to improve. You're going to find out where you're having problems,
Right.
issues. So you can improve yourself. So still it's in the progress. So you have to learn every day new
Mhm.
things. So he gave me that perspective, as well as what should I read, you know what should be my focus point,
Right.
what gonna help me in career, all these things. And another teacher was from the culinary, who generated that interest,
Mhm.
of cooking, in us. What try to put it in a different perspective, change the representation of it,
Mhm.
how it has been presented before. So that gonna give a totally new outlook to the dish.
Right.
That's the thing where I learn my way
Mhm.
and bring that rebellion kind of a attitude in me, that I have to change. I have to change how people take food or think about Indian food. I have to change that whole picture.
Right.
And then when get into the industry, then you meet people. You
Mhm.
learn a bit from everyone.
Right.
Like I try to be a sponge, grasp
Mhm.
as much as I can, or I could. I tried that,
Mhm.
and kind of focused. I used to be very naughty.
Yeah.
Very, yeah, very, like I I was, man, seriously. I
Yeah.
did so much of nonsense.
Right.
I still do.
I think
you
we all
know
did.
yeah,
You
I
know.
still do, because you need that humor part. You
Yeah,
need
you
that
do.
humor stuff, at work as well, because work, you're gonna get bored.
Yeah.
When you having fun, tell me,
Mhm.
you need that fun element, right?
You definitely do.
So that you can laugh together,
Yeah.
you can joke around.
Mhm.
So it should be like, when you are not during the business time, when you're doing prep, you're doing other stuff, you can crack jokes so that you
Mhm.
can ease out the environment, make it
Yeah.
light. you know
I do like that.
yeah,
I'm not a fan of a quiet kitchen.
yeah, that's why I don't like that 3 Michelin star
Yeah, yeah.
culture and
I
all.
hear you. That's why I liked
Says,
Metalwood, because I was like, oh, these guys, they got beards, fucking playing music. They play music from through service, like all types of crazy music. I'm like, this is dope. It took the way that like you need to work in a quiet kitchen where you can hear a pin drop. It's like, no, thank you. I'm not down with that, bro. I need to hear something other than this ooh from the hood.
I don't like that pressure cooker situation.
Yeah.
I really don't like. I want that pressure which is necessary. Okay, take it.
Yeah.
During the operation, yes, you have to be focused. You have to be kind of in line with the you know the business
Right.
hours, so that
Mm-hmm.
you can do maximum revenue
Mm-hmm.
during that time. But accept that, if your things are proper, why not having some fun?
Mm-hmm. That's at the end of the day, that's why we do it. It's the only thing that we thought we could have fun in.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, how do I stay myself but still do a job?
Motivated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, the fact that you were shy, you learn more that way. In the beginning, if you don't talk much, it honestly helps you out.
No.
It didn't. It didn't help you out. Okay, wrong. What happened, Chef?
Like, yes, you're gonna observe more. If you're shy, you're standing in a corner, you're watching people's, yes, you're gonna observe a lot. But how you gonna clear your doubts if you're not gonna speak up?
Right. Or ask questions about the process?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Certain times, you're gonna observe, you think that this is the right way.
Hmm.
But what we do on a day-to-day basis, we tend to do a lot of shortcuts as well. So if I'm gonna teach you my shortcut, this is recently I heard from my wife, actually, her friend tells her, I don't teach shortcuts. Because if I'm going to teach you a shortcut, you're going to make a shortcut of that shortcut.
Right.
So if you're going to ask me how you doing this thing, then I'm going to tell you the proper way. So now when you learn the proper way, you're going to make your own shortcut.
Right.
If I'm going to teach you that shortcut I'm doing, you're going to screw it up. You're going to make a shortcut of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way your outcome going to be totally different.
Right. Wow, chef. Okay. I get it's the human nature again. Okay, how do I cut 100 into 50?
100%. Like you sitting, like we both are sitting, right?
Yeah.
But the way I'm sitting, the way you're sitting because you are comfortable in that style.
Yeah.
I'm sitting this way because I'm comfortable in this. So same way is work. You're going to do the work the way you are comfortable. I'm going to do the work the way I'm comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to figure out a common line if we are working together so that we can achieve the same goal.
Right. Most times I don't think that the outcomes that aren't wanted are discussed thoroughly. You know, it's always like, oh, this is what the dish looks like. And then we never say in the process the things that could get in trouble. Like every recipe you have, it never says, you know, now more so than usual, but it used to say 1, add the ingredients, 2, do this, do that. Now they say, oh, hey, watch out, because sometimes if the oven is like this, it might be like this. If it's too wet, go do this, you know. Whereas I think when you and me came up, it was very black and white. You know, either you do wrong or you do right, and there's no subjectiveness to it. Now there's more voices, so more people are allowed, which means the rules now they haven't relaxed, but they've just changed.
Because there are so many variables.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many variables, which is not mentioned in the recipe. And first of all, I don't believe in recipes.
Okay, I like that.
I take recipes as a reference.
Okay.
And you have to use your brain, you have to use your experience, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, like, you know, when you going close to the heat, you should be kind of, you know, very conscious at what heat you are cooking. Because recipe is not telling you that. Recipe is just telling you saute it. But at what heat you are sauteing it?
Mm-hmm.
What is your understanding with that sauteing? Hope you are not doing stir frying. Right?
Are you doing the exact method?
Exactly.
So form is lacking for sure, because now it's like doing saying you grilled something and doing it on a grill plate, like on the stove. You know, exactly. It's got the lines. It's not the same thing, you know. And you are right. The methods are getting. I remember when I first started cooking, the chef would be like, "No, you put your arm like this, and you stir like this, you move like this. This is how you do it." Like, basically, like helping me. Like, no, you put your towel here, and then you know. Now you can't teach anybody like that. You know, you can't like coach anybody in that way. Okay, cool, but I feel like sometimes some people don't know unless you like, you know, it's like when you're young and your mom like takes your hand and she's like, no, open the door like this.
Right.
Or hold the fork like this.
Right.
We don't think that at that stage of our lives when we're first working that we need to be taught that way. And I'm not saying that we need to be babied, but I think that we as human beings need to humble ourselves a little bit into what we don't know. And just like Denzel Washington in Training Day, explain this to me like I'm a baby. You know, explain everything. I've cooked 100 braises, but if I go to your restaurant, I want to know how you do it. I don't care. How do you peel the carrots here?
Exactly.
I want to know everything. How do you wash your hands here properly? I know how to wash my hands, but how do you do it here? And that's what's lost. So as people go to their new restaurant and say, well, I used to do that at the other place. And it's like, it's not all the same, you know? How do you find that in your kitchen? Do you
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a long tenured cooks there?
I do have. You know, though my restaurant is not very old, it's a new restaurant. It's just the third year, you know, running.
Mm-hmm. But meaning they've been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Because like even over 2 years is a long time now.
It is.
Yeah.
People don't stick around.
No, they don't.
Yeah. They're hopping. every time. Like, you remember those days when, you learned first making muni's,
Mm-hmm.
that you have to do it in only one motion.
Right.
You
Now
know,
you got the Robocoo. You got the burr mixer. Just put it in eggs and oil. Don't emulsify anything.
Yep.
Right. That's definitely true. I
So,
remember. Yeah, if you didn't make there was certain green dressings that I had to emulsify, but also keep them green. So I had to
Green.
put ice, and then you had to put xanthan gum. So I will agree, like there's some things that we do nowadays. It's like, oh, why were we wasting our
It's
time?
more
with
relaxed. But I feel like, the amount of perfection has gone down,
this? Mm,
which used to be in olden days. The chefs we learned from, they were more precise. They were more detailed. They had more patience, I would say.
mm,
The level of patience has gone down in people, actually.
Right.
With all this tech and, you're having support of, things. Like, I remember slicing onions, case like bags after bags, because
Mhm.
Indian cuisine needs a lot of onions, as a base sauce. And you have to peel almost like 4 bags a day,
mm.
and slice them. And now you're having this Robocop again, put into that. Boom.
There we go.
There
Yeah.
you go.
But even though I've tried to chop onions in the Robocoo before. It's not really
Same. It's not the
It's
same.
not the same.
Because
The water comes out.
exactly.
It doesn't saute right. It's good for bolognese, things like that.
Yeah.
Or if you're making a wrap for a consomme. But other than that, it's like what is this? But I gotta say, the aioli in the Robocoo, that's nice, because if you're doing 4 eggs like this,
You're gonna
it's
have
like,
biceps.
Yeah, you got switch arms.
And yeah.
Yeah, I
and
remember.
sore.
There's some restaurants I used to watch. You used to tag out, "Hey, come here." Usually pastry people,
Exactly.
like if they got a long,
Yeah.
emulsification to do. Crazy. So, what was your first sort of foray into job experience that you knew, like, oh shit, this is it?
So first few months were like, what the hell I did? Why I choose this profession?
Yes.
So day in, day out, I used to think, how can I get out from this? It's a wrong move. It's a wrong move in the career.
Mm-hmm.
So first 3 months were like that. Because everything is so hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
Other thing was, when you are in college, you are dealing with your age group.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in the profession, even 50-year-old is your kind of, job mate.
Mm-hmm.
So you're dealing with a different age group people, different temperament, right? And when you're new in that, and you're like a puppy among all the big bulldogs,
Mm-hmm.
and your tail is under your ass,
Right.
Even you utter a single word, it gonna, kind of get back to you like bullets.
Yeah.
So you're scared to even speak up, and you listening to them, taking all the shit from them, doing all the unnecessary, unproductive job which they have to perform. They ask you to do it. You're the first person getting into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You're the last one going out of the kitchen. Like this happening every day.
Mm.
And when you think you are done, you ready to take off your apron, they're gonna barge you with another work. And then that, screws your mind completely. You feeling like, what the fuck? Why I'm doing this? Why I am here?
Yeah.
But like, this is how it is. That's how you get, I would say season.
Mm-hmm.
And you become like a steel after that.
Mm-hmm.
You get matured. You learn the hard way.
Yes.
That's what industry teaches you. I guess in every profession,
Every profession, yeah. It's
like
just
when
different.
you're new,
Yeah.
Nobody take you seriously.
Nope.
Everybody, give you shit. Everybody throws all unwanted stuff at you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you earn their respect, when you kind of show them your mettle, I guess that's where things starts.
Mm-hmm.
So the same thing happened with me. So I was taking. One day I kind of got frustrated. Kind of I busted on my executive chef.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? I'm not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I took off my apron, gone to the locker room. He sent a guy, he was kind of a supervisor. He came to me. He said, "Hey, chef is calling you back." I said, "I'm not going. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I'm going to do something else. This is not my cup of tea."
Right.
So he called me. He gave me a glass of water. He said, "Okay, you know what? You were just checking, how much patience you're having, how much you can take. So we can see what your mindset is.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. We were expecting more from you, but that's fine. If you can handle that much. But I'm like your big brother. I was trying to understand, how far I can go with you. So I know what I have to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna next day you're gonna see totally different, scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you different responsibilities, and literally, things changed after that. So like maybe that's his style, to check a new guy whether he's worthy of his time,
Mm-hmm.
that he can spend, because the success rate in our industry is very low. You know that.
Yes.
If 100 chefs get into the kitchen, hardly, I guess, 5%
Yeah.
having a success rate,
5 will make it through. Yeah.
right? That's 95. Do something else.
So how many people go to culinary school that actually stay in it? Not very long.
Like from my batch, the year I
Mhm.
passed out of my college, I guess me and my wife are the only one left in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Rest everybody's doing something else.
Just, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's not, you really have to be an absolute crazy person to want to do this.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I would say, like, every profession need some amount of craziness.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, what suits you?
Mm-hmm.
What suits your character? That's where, that kind of segregate you in those professions.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you're doing, this podcast thing, I guess, you are crazy enough to do that.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
That's a good way to look at it. That's funny. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, sometimes it's, and I'm sure you do this because, like, we're in an industry, right? You look at other chefs and you're like, oh, man, and like, it would be good to have all that stuff, But then you look and you're like, no, because I'm a player in the game. Like, just because Michael Jordan is the best basketball player, and that's up for debate, I'm not here to debate it. I'm just saying that it doesn't discount LeBron. It doesn't discount Charles Barkley or any other player that played in the NBA that never won a championship. Like, those people all have mothers and fathers and kids, and they all matter too. Just because we focus on 2 or 3 of the top people, yeah, of course we're going to do that because that's as we should.
Right.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Make the mountain so we can climb it. No problem. But I think what happens in our industry is we get sensitive and then we want to take down what's happening, like with James Beard, I don't know. Have you been following that?
I do sometimes.
Right.
not all the time. No.
It's just like it's almost better to just be like, you know what? I'm good. You know what I mean? Even though it's a very prestigious award that I think like I've always wanted one, as a cook.
Yeah, it's not like I don't want it.
Right.
But still, it's kind of, it takes too much. And, like initially when we were talking, Like I'm still in a survival mode at the
Mhm.
moment. You know,
Still recovering from pandemic.
still like, my goals at the moment are different, which were kind of, not existing when I was doing August 15, my last restaurant.
Hmm.
I was in a pretty good state that time, kind of thinking about Michelin, thinking about James Beard. Did the James Beard also, one of the dinners.
At the house.
Not at the house, like
Mm.
journal one,
Right,
where
right.
you giving the bites, not
Okay,
not
okay, okay.
that one. Again, it's like whom they are calling. You need right peoples to so that they can approach and you
Right.
get a chance for
Mhm.
that. We didn't get that chance actually. I didn't get that chance. I
Mhm.
love to do that, but didn't got that chance. And now, uh, you know, I was completely broke, completely financially broke, mentally broke when started this business. Kind of, I was thinking in that depression mode.
Mhm.
Nothing gonna happen now. You're done. Everything you done gone dusted.
Yeah.
COVID took it away,
Yes.
but thanks to grace of God, things came back in a very nice perspective. By the time COVID was going, it gave
Mhm.
me a lot of that pride, a lot of that courage back.
Mhm.
But still, like as far as business is concerned, it's not to that level where I can kind of go out for 3-4 days.
Mhm.
Let's say James Beard, I'm doing in New York. I have to be away from my restaurant at least 3 days.
Mm.
So I don't have that luxury at the moment.
Right.
So because you have to spend from your pocket,
Right. You have to make sure that your people are
exactly.
taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So still not there. Still not
Mhm.
there. But hopefully
Yeah.
in coming
But keep
time,
going.
yes. Yeah.
And you mentioned your wife was in the industry.
So she's from the front of the house, like
Mhm.
front desk,
Mhm.
and she have to start her career again when she come to US in 2015. I come in US 2012
Mhm.
January. Started with a very well known brand, Rasika
Mhm.
in Washington DC.
Mhm.
So I lived here 3 years alone without my family. So they joined me when I come to California.
Mhm.
I come to California in 2013. They joined me here in 2015.
Okay.
So initially, I was on H-1B visa, which don't allow your spouse to work. So she was not working. I was the only one.
Why is that? Why don't they allow you supposed to work?
That's for the immigrants, non-immigrants.
They don't want you guys to make enough money to fucking buy a house. That's
Not
what it is.
really.
God damn it.
Government. It's kind of hard on
Right.
individual, but like what makes America great, I guess the rules and regulations.
Mhm.
They laid for the citizens here,
Mhm.
and I have full respect for that.
Mhm.
Because yes, being an individual, I have all the right to think why my wife can't work,
Right.
right? But at the same time, you have to think, how many people are jobless also,
Mhm.
who are not getting their jobs,
Right.
right?
Right.
So first priority should be given to them,
Mm.
right? But like then I've gone for this whole process of getting my green card, and other stuff. She got a her work permit and her kind of chance to work. So she's working now.
Right.
So she's not exactly in the industry, but she's doing like what comes in hospitality.
Okay.
So she's not in a hotel, she's not in restaurant. She's working for a company, who take care of their executives to be taken care in terms of what they need as far as hospitality is concerned.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Like a handler sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Here in the Bay, especially, like all the.
Yeah, she works for at the moment she works for this Cushman and Wakefield.
Mhm.
So they'll take care of Google buildings.
Mhm.
So
Big
all the
firms.
executives, big
Okay.
firms. So These guys are, responsible for making sure that all their executives, kind of been taken care,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they need
Right.
for their day to day
Okay.
things. Yeah.
That's dope. And how long you been married now?
So we both were, batchmates in catering college. So we know each other from last 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and we got married in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Married 2008, 2015. They come meet you here.
15 years.
Yeah. What is the goal, sort of, when you arrive here in California?
Actually, I never planned to come out of India.
Mm.
This again,
Okay. Yeah.
this again was like, I hate you. I want to get away from you, and I ended up in US.
Right.
So I was executive chef in Taj Hotels. Taj Hotels is like, prestigious brand of hotels in India, having maximum number of hotels in India. I guess at the moment they're having around 120 hotels,
Mm-hmm.
even more than that. They're having the Taj Campton in San Francisco. It's the same brand.
Right.
So I was executive chef of one of the units there. So got frustrated with some stuff, there, and I had this opportunity to join Rasika as a chef de cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, okay, let's look at the culture abroad, and give some different perspective to my life. So that was the whole idea. I was not aware of. If I would be aware of how things works here in Indian restaurants, I would have never come.
Really?
Really. Because for me, USA is you start again. So I start my ass off again,
Yeah.
from
The bottom.
bottom. Though I was chef de cuisine.
But your resume, they don't care.
No, like, you here, if you are a chef de cuisine or an executive chef of a restaurant, you're having the maximum responsibility.
Yeah.
You have to wash the dishes, you have to
Yep.
clean the kitchen, you
Everything.
have to do every freaking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So in India, yeah, like, the difference between India and here, you get the best of the manpower in India. You don't get the product.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what you need. You want best of the cheese? Sorry, boss. It's not here. It's going to come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? You having Wagyu. You have to, kind of do ass off, for getting that.
Mm-hmm.
So product is not available. Manpower is best of the manpower.
Mm.
And you can lay down any sort of, now things have been changed from last 8-10 years. Things have been changed. I'm
Mhm.
talking about when I was there. Now you can get anything there. Anything. In a span of a day,
Yeah.
you can get any stuff. And people having enough money to pay for your labor, to give you that fruit.
Right.
So here you get every stuff. You don't get the right manpower here. Most of the people who are working in our industry, especially in restaurants, they're just here to make money.
Mm-hmm.
They have no passion. They have no kind of, feeling
Right.
for the profession. They just look at the clock. My time is over.
Right.
I'm going. Maximum of them. So that's where, you want to discuss some, kind of creative stuff with your, peer. And then he's kind of, thank you, boss. I'm not interested.
Right.
I'm here to work. Give me some stuff to do. Whatever you're going to tell me, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
No heart behind that.
Right.
So though no heart, no art.
Right.
Nothing. It's just, up 2 hands, 2 legs are there. Brain is somewhere else. Is thinking about what he gonna do in a off day. Where he gonna do the party, where he gonna enjoy, that's it.
Right.
And even on the job, like last 2 hours, is off from the mind completely. He just started winding up, cleaning up his station so that he can go as quick as possible. from here. Like he is getting away from the prison.
Right.
So that kind of a feeling, think about it. So that where, you get stuck. Okay, now I have to do everything. I have, the responsibility to think what I'm going to do next and prepare. And, you get into that trap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm telling you, like, if I had a chance to knew about all this thing, I would never left India.
Mm-hmm.
That problem was smaller than what I was getting into after coming here.
Right.
And another thing was politics. This politics is such an integral part of our life, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about state politics, internal politics, where a person tries to pull you down because he knew that he cannot beat you with the work. Then what are you going to do? You're going to create that environment that you get frustrated and you are not able to do the work you can do in a free state of mind.
Right. The weak mind trying to pull down the strong mind. I would love to think that the person that's in that kitchen with no passion has passion for something else. Maybe their kids. That's what I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, he's here for just to do a job. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a raise. You're not going to get promoted. You're going to peel the potatoes, I think sometimes as a restaurant, it's almost like a necessary position. You almost got to have a few people that don't really want to move up. You know what I'm saying? Because that they're always going to be there on time, and they're going to be dependable in different ways. Maybe not for creative, maybe not for passion, maybe not for, but hey, the fucking oven broke, he's got you, And I think it's like going to war with the army you have and not the army you want, Unfortunately, in where we're at right now in the food world, I think that's just what we have to put up with.
And the reverse of that?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take the name of, that Michelin star restaurant, 3 Michelin star restaurant. I did stars there. They treat their stars like shit. For them, they are like free laborers.
Right.
Okay. So here the person is highly motivated, want to learn and kind of, come there to kind of give a new meaning to their career. And these guys knew about it. They don't want them to learn what they want to learn.
Right.
But at the same time, they overburden them with the work they want them to do. And paying nothing.
You're right about that.
Peanut.
There's a stage. There's been stages before where we come into the restaurant and you almost okay, well, I got to peel this whole case of pearl onions, so guess what you're doing today? And it's almost not fair. And I would say that comes from the management, because a lot of times when the stage comes, it's like, oh shit, we got a stage today? oh no, we forgot, And it's like, all right, stick them with this guy. And that guy's like, oh, it's like the busiest day for me. I don't have time to talk to this dude, And all wrong. It should not happen. Unfortunately, that's what does. But management has a lot to do with that. They should be able to step in and say, hey, did we give the stage food? Has the stage moved around stations? I've been on stages where the chef really cares and moves you around, and then I've been on other stages where they're just like...
I used to go there 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And the first meal we used to get 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. So whole day, what you're doing, you're just having freaking black coffee. You burning your veins with the black coffee. Like when you piss, you're smelling that roasted smell of beans.
And then it's clear. Your pee is clear. And you're like, how does that happen? I'm drinking coffee, my pee is clear.
So that's what I'm saying, So you having both. This is again perspective,
It is just such a crazy dynamic that all of those people fit in the same house, and somehow it works.
Yeah.
Somehow. Because there is also the people that are over passionate. And then it's like, well, I read in this book that they did this, so like we're doing it wrong. It's like nobody's doing it wrong. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh no, you use plastic, bro. Try not to use plastic. I want you to try not to use plastic and let me know if that works out for you. It's not gonna work. We're a slave to this, and we will continue to be. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few restaurants that say, okay, we use glass jars.
Why don't they give us a better,
Because
substitute?
I'll tell
if
you
they
what,
don't
because
want us to use this.
The contracts have already been made, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna have this for the next 50 years.
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm just putting it on the next generation. I'm just like, figure out something that takes care of the plastic, please. I'm gonna keep cooking this food.
Let me give you an example. So when we were starting this new restaurant, we thought, okay, let's have our nice packaging, so that we can take care of this plastic problem. We're not gonna use much of plastic, and gonna give a better style Indian food. Because Indian food is having, this gravies and all. It's kind of get messy when you travel with it.
Right.
When it kind of shakes in your, during the travel. So we wanted to make it kind of, stuck to, in those cases. So where, you just trying to create some, let's say in a cardboard, you make some holes, and you're fitting these daily containers in that so that they don't move a lot while you're traveling from one place to another place. And then even the boxes kind of made up of cardboard, or nice not plastic, but kind of that waxy stuff. They were so expensive, man. Like, they were more expensive than my food cost.
It doesn't make
and nobody wants to pay for it.
No.
They're going to give you a good lecture that you're using plastic, but they are not ready to pay for that. It's same like, you go for an organic stuff. Organic stuff is 3 times expensive than the regular stuff.
I say,
and if you're
so
not,
like
I'm doing business, my friend, if you're not ready to pay for the organic and you want organic, I'm not going to give you organic.
Right.
Right?
You're not going to pay the price. Because now that chicken sandwich is $30 instead of $22, It's
and
crazy.
especially in my business, like where I have to deal with a lot of my country peoples, Indians coming to my restaurant. They are happily going to any Italian restaurant, having a pasta, which is boiled from the packet and been cooked with a tin, marinara sauce, and happily paying $40 for that. But when they're coming to my restaurant, having a butter chicken, which took half of the day to get cooked,
right?
Okay, and having chicken in that. Not that packet, that also took some labor to cut that chicken, to cook that in tandoor, then cooked in that sauce. And when I'm charging them $21 or $22 for that, they're crying for it. They're saying it's freaking expensive. Come on, man. Like, think about it. Think about you just, other day gone to a Italian restaurant, had a pasta, which just had carb only, and I'm giving you protein. And you're still crying for it. So you have to compare apple with apple. But no. So you have to, this is how world is.
Yeah. I wonder where we're going though, because it seems like, is just inflation go forever? Does shit just like, does a burger cost $40 in 20 years? In 10 years?
I guess.
I guess that just like, okay, cool. Minimum wage, $52.
I guess we're gonna start eating pills.
Yeah, right. Honestly, I mean, that's what you do now anyway.
Right.
Protein powder,
yeah.
vitamin D. I mean, whatever, man. I just wish they would make one pill. I don't want to have to be doing this like 80 pill shit. I got different companies. Who knows what's in that powder, man? Like, I take the
anything labeled with organic becomes organic.
Right, exactly.
Right?
There's
you having more olive oil than the olives
That is funny.
Right?
Yeah.
Extra virgin.
There's a lot of shit like that scares me. Like, what am I actually eating right now that's completely toxic? You know, and things that are illegal in other countries, like Frosted Flakes, you're like, I grew up on those. I ate those every day. You know, I think that's the best part about being born and raised in another country. You're not subject to the American food chain, which is shit.
Exactly. Yep.
But that's why we go to the farms, and that we have great farms here in California. That's pretty much where most of the produce comes from in the United States. So honestly, that's why I moved here. You know,
I have friends here, they rarely cook at home.
Mhm.
Rarely cook at home. And me and my family rarely go out. We cook every day at home. All the 3 meals of the day.
Mhm.
Being as a chef, I'm not eating at the restaurant because I have to eat with my family.
Right.
I don't want to miss that time. So I eat at home.
Hmm.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Dinner I don't normally do, but like whenever I have to do, I do it at home.
I went to Chez Panisse yesterday with my business partner, and we go in there, and I'd never been, and it's just like historic for me because I'm like, you read about this place, and then we ate upstairs, and then we go downstairs, and all the cooks, mid-shift, mid-turn, were out back eating staff meal and drinking a bottle of wine. I'm like,
wow,
this right here is the shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is literally like what you read is like what you get with them. It's like for real, they're doing all that hippy dippy shit and like still getting it done. You know, and like there's a lot of respect for that, you know, because it's a different mindset. Like when Northeast, like hardcore hotel, like let's go. And again, if you eat, why are you eating? You don't got time to eat.
Exactly.
You know, if you take something from the line, oh, you're stealing. Like, no, I'm just hungry, man. And I have to make a quick bite for myself. A little bit of corn, a little bit of bacon, feta cheese, and a cherry tomato off the salad station, you know, whatever it is.
You need the fuel, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, just like Chef Kat was always really good about feeding us. She was always cooking something, like feeding everybody, you know, because she's like, hey, if you want your car to run, you got to put gas in it.
Exactly.
You
So
know?
in my kitchen, we are having a ritual. My chefs cook, their own recipe every day.
Okay.
One of the other take the responsibility,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna cook for the whole staff today. They cook, they eat together, and that's how we do.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Sometimes I also take that, food
Cook staff meal?
Yeah, cook staff meal with me,
Yeah.
so that I can share with my kids. So that's how we do.
Mm-hmm. Best way to do it. So what made you open your own place?
I guess it's again, once you become an entrepreneur, and it's really difficult to work under someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've been stopped too much, when I was working, in a restaurant, working for someone else. You can't do this. This is not correct. This is not going to work. Though I was an executive chef, I
Right.
had the responsibility to make the menus and all. But I was not had enough freedom that I can make my own menus.
Right.
So that's where I got so kind of pissed. Okay, I have to start my own.
Mm-hmm.
Let me prove this whole thing wrong, that this not going to work. This is not supposed to be Indian restaurant. This is not how you can do stuff in
Mhm.
Indian restaurant. I did nothing, which was the fundamental of Indian restaurant when I opened my own.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single item in the menu was a part of any Indian restaurant in the Bay Area. Like people having, like let's say when you're having an Italian restaurant, can you think of that they're having pasta but not having marinara sauce, not having Alfredo sauce?
Yeah, you'd be like, what the fuck's going on here?
They're having amritaccini, they're having puttanesca, they're having something else, right?
Yeah,
So that's where, the fun begins.
right.
So really? They're having pasta but they don't have Alfredo? So same thing. I had Indian restaurant, no butter chicken, no tikka masala. So I said, okay, I will prove everybody wrong.
Right.
This is not the only Indian food.
Right.
It's just a small dot
Mm-hmm.
in a whole paper.
Mm-hmm.
So either you concentrate on that dot,
Or
or you
everywhere.
concentrate on that whole paper.
Mm-hmm. And did your family at that point have anything to say about that? Like, you're crazy. Nobody's gonna buy that.
Like, that's why I guess me and my wife are together. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
because she's like, "Fuck yeah, baby.
yeah. So
You go
she said,
ahead.
"You go ahead."
Go ahead, baby."
Yeah, you do it. What was gonna happen? Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I have full support. So I guess that's one of the reasons why.
Mhm. It's a good way to be. Good way to be for sure. So you decide to open this restaurant, and then what was some of the biggest challenges that you didn't like foresee in opening a restaurant?
Labor,
Mm-hmm.
one thing, and financing. Because first restaurant, though I was in charge, but financially, kind of, it was not under my control
Mm-hmm.
because I have investors and all, and they dictate most of the time things.
Right.
Though they don't have damn knowledge of our profession,
Mm-hmm.
but because their money is invested, so they're having a saying in that.
Right. Always.
So this time, I had one thing very much clear. I'm not gonna let anybody riding on my head and giving me instructions that you cook your stuff like this. So this time, no investor. So all the funds were coming from us. So I said, Susio, can I have 10,000 grand from you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna return you such and such month. You gave me. Gone to another friend, gave me another. So started with 50 grand, took another 30, 40 grand. Then my partner had his own stuff. That's how we built this
Build
restaurant.
it, put together.
Another thing which helped us, because we opened in 2020 December, it was only takeout and delivery.
Okay.
So we got a time to buy the furniture.
Mm.
So we first invested in the cosmetic changes in the dining area
Mm-hmm.
and in the equipments in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we started earning, we started investing in furniture slowly and gradually.
Right.
By Fab, we had enough furniture to seat people outside, because that time also you had that 6 feet mandate. So you can't put that many tables, right? So
Right.
we were doing hardly 20, 25 covers a day or 30 covers a day. So we had enough chairs and tables for that.
Mm-hmm.
Though the capacity of the restaurant inside was 55.
Right.
So by March, I guess by Mother's Day in 2021, we had all our furniture.
Right. Okay. Did you go into it with the thought of maybe opening up multiple restaurants, or do you want to just keep this one?
Idea is to have multiple restaurants, because I have to change this mindset of how people perceive Indian food here. It's still kind of ethnic cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make it a mainstream food.
Okay.
As you said that unhealthy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what we do at Aurum, we make the home food in a restaurant style.
Mm.
We don't make restaurant food.
Okay.
So everything is not with butter and cream and
Mm.
like a lot of oil and spicy. No, we make a home style food, and we convert it into presentation wise a restaurant food, so that it look appealing
Mm-hmm.
and creative, and a lot of modern take in terms of what you eat in an entree, I'm serving in an appetizer. What do you eat in dessert, I'm serving in entree. So it's like, I'm kind of screwing your head,
Mm-hmm.
that you're thinking that something else is coming, and something it coming in a totally different style.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thing
Right.
about surprise element and creative element. In each, try to do in each dish. Not easy though. And then touching those recipes and items which are famous in regional parts of India, but never get a chance to be in the menu of any restaurant, especially in US. So,
where do you go for Indian food when you're not cooking at home or you're taking your family somewhere? Where's a good Indian restaurant here in the Bay that's like...
Normally we cook at home when we have to eat Indian food.
So that's the best restaurant.
Yeah, that's the best restaurant.
You gotta have me over, chef.
My wife, she's an excellent cook. But there are certain places. My partner having another restaurant, we go there. His restaurant name is Broadway Masala. It's in Redwood City. Another very good restaurant, So his style of cooking is pretty damn authentic, So that's one place. Then except that, there is a flatbread spot in I guess it's in Sunnyvale. It's called Rajjot. So like stuffed breads.
Okay, got it.
Cooked on kind of flat tops.
Right.
So that is awesome. You can get potato stuffed. You can get cauliflower stuffed. That paneer stuffed. So that's another thing. And then I guess not too many actually. There is another couple of Indian restaurants which opened recently. We go there to check what they are doing and all.
You better fucking watch out, guys.
Yeah,
Chef's coming through.
I always appreciate in my community, not the competition, I would say a different perspective. Because earlier Indian restaurants were opened by non-professionals, They were in IT, they had extra money. Okay, let's open our Indian restaurant.
Right.
And they're screwing up.
As for money.
They are screwing up.
That's when things get screwed up.
Yeah. So these, other restaurants like Roo, like Itan, now there is a restaurant called Shosha, Spice Club. At least they are trying something new.
Right.
They are trying to change the mindset of people. Like I'm trying to change the mindset of people. So I appreciate their effort. It's not like a competition. Yeah, like I have enough to earn my bread and butter. I guess they're having enough, spectators or kind of guest base to support them.
How did you get with indie chefs? What happened there?
So Nelson was the common link.
Nelson German. Okay, got you.
So
Herman.
Yeah.
Aha.
So I get connected with him through RPR, initially. So we did, kind of a collaboration before that, Indie Chef, and that's how we get interacted. So he come to my restaurant, he cooked with me a meal. And then this Indie Chef was happening, and then that's how, he... Actually, some chef didn't turn up, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. So, or they, because they had 2 days, right?
Right.
Thursdays, Fridays, and then
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
they did it all the days. That was crazy.
That was like we cooked 3 times.
Right. I was like, how much does this cost? Just looking at that whole thing.
But I guess
it's like you got Brother Luck over here. You got like all types of chefs were in that room. I'm like, this is crazy.
That
was
was
a good event.
We
guess need more
since I come to US, this was the like time of my life here. I enjoyed that, interacting with crazy peoples like me, and in that fun mode.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was like I'll want to have that kind of a time again.
Yeah.
I had another like it's not like only there. I did another charitable event in Austin and Chicago once. That was also fab.
Okay.
I met with another. One guy is a very renowned chef in Toronto. His name is Nick.
Nick. Okay.
So I kind of he known as Ninja Chef.
Ninja Chef.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's a Chinese descendant, born and raised in Toronto. So he's one, and then there was another guy called Abraham. His restaurant name was Fat Duck, I guess.
Okay.
He got some award as well after that.
Mm.
These two dudes, man, they were crazy. They were crazy, man. Like so much fun they used to do behind the scene, and so fab in their food, like so different, like unique.
Right.
So much to learn from them. And then there was serious guy also, Edward, from Chicago.
Mm.
He was a serious dude, not getting into like he was not like us. He was
not
like
trying to have a good time.
yeah.
He was like,
He was a very sober guy.
Yeah.
Kind of very clean kind of guy.
not sucio. Okay.
We were socios.
Yeah.
We were damn socios there.
Heard that, chef. There's no other way to be, is there? I don't think so. Most of the restaurants that are the best are run by crazy people. Just like people that are just willing to do what it takes to have a good time. Like anybody who's willing to do what it takes to go eat at a restaurant and try food is.
I can tell you that
That's
you
cool.
never had a burger like he makes, that ninja guy.
Okay.
Ninja chef. He makes that bao burger.
Yeah.
Oh man, crazy burger. Crazy burger.
Bao Burger
Bao
by
burger.
Chef Ninja.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. Toronto.
He having multiple spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. I think I seen him on Instagram.
He's famous, man.
Yeah,
He did TED Talk and all sort of things.
Got you. Yeah.
He wears that,
Yeah.
hat kind of a thing.
Chef, you're famous too. I seen you beat Bobby Flay. What's up?
I'm just a small.
Was that the only show you've been on?
Yeah, only
Beat
show.
Bobby
I
Flay?
don't want to do all like I got so many
Offers, yeah.
offers to do another cooking show and all.
Yeah.
Like one time it's good, but again and again and again same thing.
Yeah.
Nah.
There seems to be a whole community of that now.
Like I love to do that indie chef kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You cook for peoples, you mingle around,
Yeah.
you can have fun. Like you get out from your that day to day
You let
operation.
loose,
Yeah,
yeah.
let loose. Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes your crew benefits from you not being there
Exactly.
because you're not. They're like take a little bit more responsibility, and they're like, oh, okay.
No, I have an excellent number two. Like if God permit me, I'm gonna give him his own space,
Mm-hmm.
his own spot.
Right.
He is worthy of that. His
Mhm.
name is Nirmal.
Mm-hmm.
He is worthy of that.
That's amazing, chef.
Yeah,
That's
man.
something that I feel like is in the new guard of chefs wanting to
Yeah.
open stuff for your CDCs and your
Man,
sous
I
chefs.
opened my own, right?
Right.
So he must be having aspirations to do his own.
Yeah.
Why I kind of get angry and make him my enemy or my competitor when I can be benefited with his knowledge
Exactly.
and his kind of company.
Mm-hmm. That's what's happened. Most of these legacies gone because people are too much ego.
I would say support him,
Yeah.
invest in him so that he can bring some dividend to you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Bring you people, bring you business, and you will forever have impacted that person, meaning they're forever in your lineage. And
Yeah.
That's the thing. As chefs, we have lineage, and it's not talked about anymore. It used to be, oh, he worked here, he worked here. Now you only hear people say, oh, he worked 3 Michelin. That's all they give a shit about, And I'm here to say, like, there's other restaurants that train you better than 3 Michelin star restaurants.
I can guarantee you the biryani he makes,
Mm-hmm.
I can challenge any Indian if he can get in the Bay Area. Though there are biryani places.
Right.
They own the restaurant only selling biryanis. But this guy, Nirmal, makes the best biryani in town.
Okay.
I can bet you on that.
All right. I got to go over there and have some
Yep.
biryani. Oh, yeah. Like that. That's good that you believe in him so much.
Oh, yes.
Because
yes.
it's necessary.
Yep.
And honestly, that's what you're looking for. And I have a buddy of mine who, was like, he has his own business, and he's like, what's kind of missing for us? He's like, is a mentor. It would be good to have a mentor in this stage of life. You'll always benefit from somebody older that went through the same things as you.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's what we've lost. You can't like peer-to-peer mentor. I can't go to another chef in town and say, "Hey, I'm broke. Have you ever had this problem before? What do you do?" Because I'm afraid that now he knows I'm broke. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna go talk shit and tell someone else like, "Yo, those motherfuckers are broke."
No, like
You know?
that's the problem with our community. I guess they having less faith in each other. But I kind of been lucky. My partner at the moment, I gone to him that I'm broke,
Right.
and he helped me opening a restaurant with me. Yeah. So one example.
Mm-hmm.
Another example, another friend had a restaurant when I had, this August 15. He had his restaurant on 21st and Mission.
Mm-hmm.
He, one of the days, I guess Sunday, his, walk-in cooler broke down.
Mm-hmm.
He had almost like 10 grand worth of stuff in it. I said, come, put in my walk-in.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm closed on Monday. So by the time it's going to take you a day at least to fix that, right? So you can fix your walk-in cooler on Monday and you can take your stuff on Tuesday morning.
Right.
So we help each other.
Right. And that's the way it should be. I remember working for a certain restaurant and I was like, we need to go borrow some shit. So I went to this other restaurant in town and borrowed it. And he's like, why the fuck would you ever, you know what I mean? And it was like, are you just embarrassed that they know that we dropped the ball and forgot to order something? Like, we forget to order stuff sometimes. I get it. It's like the whole world's on display when you play basketball, right? Everybody knows you missed the assist, you missed the steal. We have to be better about that. I didn't train that person well, so they left.
Even like, our community in Los Altos, all the restaurants.
Yeah.
We're having a group.
Mm.
So we do group texting there.
Yeah.
If anybody needs anybody needs anything, they just have to text.
Right.
And let me tell you, at least 10 guys, reply right away.
Yeah.
You can take from me. You can take from me. That gives you so much of confidence and courage that you are not alone.
Yeah.
You're having any issues,
mm-hmm.
you're having someone to, come there to help you out,
mm-hmm.
To be with you.
Yeah.
Even you get that, word of wisdom. You get that much of, pride and that strength.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't need that support though. But by those words, you get the confidence that you can do it alone.
Right. It's crazy. Speaking of indie chefs, I remember we're back live. Brother Luck. Mm-hmm. I just saw him do a talk where he was talking about almost killing himself. And like that is, I just feel like we are not celebrating things when they happen enough. We celebrate James Beard, we celebrate Michelin, but that's a grown man. Like talking about his problems. You know what I'm saying? This society doesn't care. Nobody cares, But I'm here to say that like I care. It's important for that to happen because I know he's not the only one. There's a lot of chefs out there that are like in despair, and like they put on that face and they go in and they do their thing. And on Instagram, they seem so happy, but they're not, and I think you being here, saying the things the way that it is, the struggles that you have in the kitchen with cooks, purveyors, like whatever it is, it means something, to be honest, and especially in front of the world eye, because this is going to live on for,
Yeah, it turns into a fast-paced, life where, meaning of happiness changed, a lot from last, I would say 10, 15 years. Since this whole Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all these come. If you'll see, we lost the value of those close friends. We lost those shoulders we can, count on when we need it. Open up, like you said. that's where, all this frustration, killing you, because you don't have many people to talk about it, to get their perspective on it. You just kind of get consumed by that, fear, that anxiety, and you take certain decisions, you should not take, or one, even not thinking close to that. If they are speaking to their friends, because they're going to give them a right perspective, they're going to tell them, hey, I'm with you, you're not alone. If you are going to a bad phase, I'm going to go with you in that bad phase.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull you out from there.
That's what I feel like happens with our community when articles come out about chefs. We don't talk to them. We're like, don't want to talk to them. You know what I mean? Or like, and honestly, like I've been even upset with myself because there's some things that come out and I'm like, oh, okay, leave them alone. But it's the time to reach out and say, hey, brother, like we're here. The chef community's here for you. Because like, who wrote it? Journalist? The fuck is, and we just like let it happen. Anytime any bad reviews happen, like any catastrophic reviews, no one is ever there to say, hey, man, like, don't worry about it. Everyone just says, oh, shit, did you see what they wrote? I'm like, we don't have each other's back. We need to have each other's back.
True, yeah. We need that. Yeah. And that's where, like whomsoever I connected with, I try to be truthful. I try to be kind of, as much as I can, helpful, so that if tomorrow I'll be in problem, I can count on them.
Right.
Yeah. So, like Brother Luck, I got, because that was the first time I interacted with him, But he texted me after that also, he's such a awesome guy, man.
Yeah, just a humble ass dude.
Yeah.
Just trying to do the right thing.
Yep. And now he's doing so much for the community.
Yeah.
And, sharing his all this, experience, gonna give a lot of perspective to young aspiring chefs. I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking, if we band together, we're gonna make moves.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
human
is a social animal.
Yeah.
We don't have to forget that. If we are not social, we're gonna die alone.
Like an idea that I had is like, why don't we have a universal, restaurant account that we're all contributing to? It can be 1%. It can be 0.25%.
There was a time there was a time I was trying actually with group of friends building like Facebook.
Yeah.
So we want to make a chef book.
Yeah.
That all the chefs kind of, coming there, sharing their, recipes and all. Like we have in that Granda.
Right.
You know that?
I say no. What is that?
It's kind of an app.
It's an app?
Yeah, it's an app. It's for recipes. It's all crazy recipes you can find on that.
By chefs or home anybody?
Yeah, but like there are pros. There are
okay.
Yeah, like anybody can make account on that, but it's basically for creative people, for chefs. There's no business for like chefs and bartenders.
Right.
You can put your cocktail recipes on that.
Not
There's
for
a lot
like
of
those businesses now.
Yeah.
But the best one is truffleshufflesf.com. Okay, right there. Boom, plug. Some of my sponsors, I can't. I can't. They're gonna be mad. No, they're my best friends. Good dudes. Cool, chef. Well, other than Indian cuisine, do you ever want to dabble in any other cuisines, any other type of restaurant, fast casual? And
I want to.
Yeah,
that's what I said. First you have to get out from this hustle and bustle of survival.
Yeah.
Then you can think of I can do Italian, I can do French cuisine.
Yeah. What would you do?
I'm classically trained in all this in India. But like when you come to US as a Indian and started cooking Indian food, you get a stamp of Indian chef.
And then they're like, "Oh,
I can cook steaks."
They're like,
I can, yeah.
They're like, just make the korma.
Yeah.
Don't. You're like, come on.
We having less who make that, so you better doing that.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. Is there any chefs that you look up to and admire, Indian chefs that that you would say are like stamp of approval from you as far as
I'm too small. Like
Right.
I really I
Chef,
learn.
come on.
I try to learn
It's all
seriously.
good.
Seriously, not there are a lot of chefs actually. I admire. And learn from them. Like my own chef, I worked under him, Chef Natarajan in India. Like if I become even 10% of him, 1% of him,
You'll be
actually,
happy.
I'm happy. Like he's a gem. He's retired now, so like Imtiaz Qureshi, another guy, who give a name to Indian food. Another guy, Mr. Gill, Chef Gill,
Mm-hmm.
on television, Sanjeev Kapoor, like they played their part, their role. Ranjit Barar, another guy, like he's from our time zone. I
Mhm.
guess he's into his early 50s, I would say, or getting close to that. He's another dude. Like he's kind of a rock star chef,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Ranbir Barar. He's spot on. Look at his videos. He don't only cook. The way he narrates the whole story
Right.
around that cooking, that's the fun part.
Okay, so it's
That's
something
the
for
fun
everything.
part. Oh
But-
man.
so you could listen to it without even looking at it,
No, like
right in the car.
forget about cooking, man. Like
Yeah.
he make you laugh. He make you
Right, right.
laugh. He joke around. He gives you those fun facts
Right.
about any spice or ingredient or any particular dish, how it invented.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get them in books, you can get them in Google,
Mm.
but the way he tells, it gonna stuck somewhere in your mind for rest of your life. That's what important.
Okay.
Information is not important. How that information is presented, that is important.
Right. Okay. You're absolutely
Otherwise,
right.
information gonna be boring,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Sometimes the truth isn't fun. So it's like in movies. If movies were all truthful, it'd be like so boring,
So boring.
you know? But they're trying to tell stories. Well, Chef, I appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, thank you very much,
for
man.
sure.
Like, yeah, it's
I'd
my
love-
first podcast actually.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm glad to be able to facilitate that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we almost hooked up right away. I saw you at Indie Chefs. I was like, "Hey, come do a podcast." You're like, "Yeah, sure, all right." And then I think you called me literally the next day, and I was like, "Okay."
It's too
And
early.
I was like, "I'm in Palm Springs." Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we could do it. And just while you're here, tell everyone where they can find your restaurant, your Instagram, and all that.
So hey guys, I'm in Los Altos downtown. My restaurant name is Aurum. It means gold. So if you want to have a gold standard Indian food, come to Aurum. Nowhere else, huh?
There you go. All right, Chef. Thank you so much. Sucio Talk Podcast. We out here in Oakland doing the damn thing live every Monday. I'm about to open a restaurant. I keep saying that. I'll let you know details later. Maybe this Monday. Who knows? Tune in.
Work
Peace
in
out.
progress.
Exactly. That's all it is for now. That's it. Thanks, Chef.
Thanks, man.